Hey there, and welcome to Tasty Napoli. I'm James, and I hope you're hungry because today we're making one of the great dishes of northern Italy, Risotto alla Milanese. It's golden, it's creamy, it's delicately scented with saffron, and traditionally it's served with ossobuco, but honestly, it's just as good on its own. For this classic risotto, you only need a few ingredients: Arborio rice, Parmigiano, prosciutto, saffron, butter, this is northern Italy after all, a shallot, white wine, and I already have some bone broth simmering on the oven. If you're looking for more Italian classics made a little bit lighter, make sure you're subscribed. We're gonna start off by finely chopping our shallot. In any risotto, the aromatics should kind of melt into the dish. They shouldn't be chunky or noticeable. And that helps keep the dish nice and smooth. I like using shallots in risotto because I find that they melt into the dish a little bit better than an onion would. Next up is we're going to prep our saffron. So just right into a small vessel. And just a little bit of broth right in there. And that's going to release the color and the aroma that give this dish its signature golden color. Legend says that this dish originated in 16th century Milan, when the saffron that was used by stained glass artists was also added to rice during a wedding feast. I don't know if that story is true or not, but either way, the dish is delicious. Start by adding the melted butter to your pot, and then we're going to cook the shallots for about 3 to 4 minutes until they get nice and soft. We're gonna add our shallots right into that hot butter. In classic Tasty Napoli fashion, we're only using 1 tablespoon of butter for this entire dish. Traditionally, multiple tablespoons are added at the beginning of the dish and then again at the end during the mantecatura. But I actually find that you only really need this 1 tablespoon at this step to get all of the buttery richness into the dish without adding gratuitous fat. Next, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of diced prosciutto. Traditionally, this dish uses either bone marrow or pancetta, which are much heavier, fattier pieces of meat, and that also makes the risotto very rich and flavorful. But I find that using just a bit of prosciutto gives you that same savory depth of flavor, but it keeps the dish significantly lighter. Okay, so we're gonna add that just right in here with the shallots and let that cook up for about a minute. All right, next up we're going to toast our rice. So just add the rice directly to the pot. Just toast the rice for about a minute until the edges of the rice kernels get a little bit translucent. Next up, we're going to add our white wine. Just put it directly into the dish and keep stirring until that completely evaporates. All right, next up, we're going to cook the risotto in the traditional way, putting 1 ladleful of broth in at a time. Now the broth should be hot, it should be nice and steamy, and we're going to stir the entire time because that is what's going to help release the starches from the rice and keep the dish nice and creamy. Just add 1 ladle at a time. Something a lot of people get wrong is they either don't stir the rice the entire time or they add too much liquid all at once. But real risotto it takes a long time because you want to develop the starch content. It doesn't come from cream. It really doesn't come from any of the dairy or the cheese. It just comes from the proper technique. And so take it slow, don't rush this dish, and I promise it will reward you for it. After about 15 minutes or so, the risotto is looking much fluffier, much creamier than it did before. It's still a bit al dente, so that tells me that there's a few minutes left before we're finished. So at this point, this is when I would recommend that we add our saffron broth. So this has just been steeping. You can see how deep and golden that color is. Okay, so we're just gonna add that right in. Give a little taste here. Perfect, just about done. Has a little bit of a bite to it, which is what you want. You don't want this to be overly soft, but you also don't want the rice kernels to be hard. And we're just about there. I think in another minute, this will be perfect. The total cooking time on this is about 16 to 20 minutes. And what you're looking for is this texture that you see here, which in Italy, they call it alla onda, or like a wave, right? And that means that it's flowing, it's creamy, but it's not stiff. Just like this. This is actually perfect. Off the heat, we are going to add Parmigiano, and we're going to really, really whip it in there. And that's called mantecatura, and that's the final enrichment that is going to make the risotto nice and silky. So this is about 1/3 of Parmigiano. That's all you really need here. So we're just gonna stir that in and just give it a nice whip. You'll notice that I didn't add salt to this dish. And that's because a lot of the ingredients are quite salty in their own right. There's salt in the Parmigiano, there's a lot of salt in the prosciutto, and there's a bit of salt in the stock that we were using as well. So I find that that's plenty, but if you find at the end that it's a little bland, you want a little bit more salt, feel free to add it. I think that the salt that's already incorporated in the ingredients is perfect. You want to add the risotto into a shallow bowl. It should slowly settle into place, but I like to just give it a little shake, a little shimmy, if you will, just so that everything lays nice and flat. So just like this, that's exactly what you're looking for. This dish is traditionally served with ossobuco, that famous braised veal dish from Milan. And the saffron in the risotto really just absorbs the braising liquid, and it just creates this incredible symphony of flavors that is just mwah. But this is perfectly delicious on its own. If you like food like this, Italian classics made a little bit lighter, please make sure that you're subscribed. There's plenty more to come from Tasty Napoli. Now, it's time for me to give this a taste. Just so good. Buonissimo. I am going to devour this. Simple ingredients, a few small tweaks to lighten the dish up, and you have one of the most delicious and elegant dishes in all of Italian cooking. Can't wait to see you next time.